My wife left me a letter before she died. For 10 years I was too afraid to open it, but today I found it, and I have a feeling it's going to destroy the only thing I have left, my legacy. I'm 73 years old, and for 50 of those years, I chased a ghost I called success. I told myself I was building a fortress to protect my family. But what do you do when you build the perfect fortress, only to realize you're the only one locked inside? This house is quiet now. It's a heavy, suffocating quiet, the kind of quiet that $1 million art collection can't fill. Last week, they gave me a retirement gift, a solid gold watch. It tells me the exact time, but it can't give me back a single second. People say I sacrificed my family. It wasn't a sacrifice. It was a trade, a deal I made every single day. Bedtime stories for board meetings, first steps for quarterly reports. And I truly thought, I was getting the better end of the deal. But what do you really win when you win a game you were never supposed to be playing in the first place? For me, all that's left is this letter. The envelope is faded. Her handwriting, God, her handwriting. I was too busy to open it when she was alive, too important. Now, my hands are shaking just holding it, and I don't know what's worse. The fear that it says, I love you, or the terror that it says, I told you so. My last day at the office was a blur. That corner office, with the skyline I thought I owned, suddenly felt like a stranger's room. My replacement, some young guy with fire in his eyes, called me a visionary. He didn't see the truth. He didn't see the cost. At the party, they called the company a family. I almost laughed. A bitter, ugly sound. I had a family, a real one. My son, Michael, sent a one-line email. Congratulations, I have a prior commitment. He was using my words, the same excuse I'd used on him for his entire childhood. My daughter, Sarah, she didn't reply at all. Her silence was a scream. Driving home that night, the kingdom I built just looked like a city of cold, distant lights. The house was dark. My wife, Eleanor, she used to leave a light on for me. So you can always find your way home, she'd say. She's been gone for 10 years. The light's been out for just as long. And that's when I saw it. At the bottom of a dusty box from my office, the letter, my name, Arthur, written on the front, and underneath a note that shattered me before I even began. To be opened on the day you finally come home for good. She knew this day would come, a day she wouldn't be here to see. I collapsed into my chair, the quiet pressing in, and I began to read. Her letter started, My dearest Arthur, if you are reading this, the empire is built. You're finally home. I've tried to imagine this moment for years. Do you feel proud, or do you just feel quiet? Do you remember our first apartment? The one with the leaky faucet and a mattress on the floor? Your dreams were always so big. You promised me a castle. And just like that, I wasn't 73. I was 25. I could smell the cheap paint. I could feel her hand in mine. I remembered her turning to me, her eyes full of a light I'd long since extinguished. It's already our castle, Artie. And I heard my own stupid, arrogant voice reply, This is just the start, Ellie. I'm going to build an empire for us. I thought I was doing it for her. I really did. Her letter pulled me back to the present. You wanted to build an empire, but our little apartment was always my castle. Everything we ever needed was already inside those four walls. The words blurred. My chest felt tight. A feeling I hadn't felt in decades. Grief was starting to crawl back up my throat. Then she wrote about the children. Then Michael and Sarah came, and my world grew infinitely richer. But your world just got bigger. The office became your home. Our house became a place you just visited. You thought you were filling it with treasures, Arthur. But you were the treasure. Your time was the only currency that ever mattered, and we were going bankrupt. And the memories hit me, not like waves, but like shards of glass. Michael's 5th birthday. I was there, but I wasn't there. Standing in the corner, closing a deal on my phone. I looked up as he blew out his candles. He was looking right at me, that hopeful little smile. I gave him a quick thumbs up and turned back to my call. The light in his eyes dimmed. The moment was gone, forever. I tried to show you, her letter went on, a child's first steps, a school play. They were like grains of beautiful sand slipping through your fingers while you were busy collecting heavy, dull stones. Another memory, Sarah, a tree in her 3rd grade play. She had one line, "I promised I'd be there, I promised," but a meeting ran late. Something unavoidable came up, I'd said over the phone from the airport. Her voice was cold, empty. Of course, Arthur. It's always unavoidable. That night, I found a crayon drawing on my pillow. A stage, an audience of stick figures, and one empty chair with a big red X drawn through it. I folded it up, put it in a drawer. It was easier to ignore it, to just work harder, to prove the trade was worth it. Then her letter described the fight, the one that changed everything. I'd missed our family vacation for a merger. I screamed at her, "This deal will set us up for life, Ellie." And she screamed back, her voice breaking, "We have a life, Arthur, right now, and you are missing it. I don't want the money, I want my husband." And I looked her dead in the eye, and I said the words that broke us. "Everything I do is for this family." Her letter explained what I was too blind to see. "No, my love, by then everything you did was for the company. The family was just the excuse you told yourself." I was living with a ghost. After that, she stopped fighting. She just started building a life around the empty space I left behind. My son learned to see me as an ATM. My daughter learned to live without a father. And then I reached the part of the letter that made the room go cold. The part about the day she found out she was sick. "I came home from the doctor, Arthur. I needed my husband. I found you staring at the stock market channel. It was a bad day. The market was down. I tried to tell you. I said, 'Arthur, we need to talk.' You didn't even look at me. You just waved your hand at the screen. 'Look at this bloodbath, Ellie. It's a catastrophe.' You patted my arm. 'Whatever it is, dear, we'll handle it. We can afford the best.' You didn't hear the terror in my voice. You didn't see the tears in my eyes. You saw a ticker tape, and I saw the end of my life. And in that moment, I knew I would face it alone." A sound escaped my lips, an animal sound of pure agony. I remembered that day. I remembered the market. I remembered being angry, but I didn't remember her fear. I had looked, but I had not seen. I thought that was the bottom, the worst of the pain. But there was one page left, one final secret. I'm not writing this to hurt you, my love. I am writing this so you might finally understand. You always told everyone you were a self-made man, that you started with nothing. It was your favorite story, but it was a lie. Do you remember Mr. Peterson, your very first investor, the one who gave you the seed money for everything? My mind raced. Peterson, the old retired accountant who just liked my business plan. What about him? Arthur, Mr. Peterson was my father. The words didn't compute. Her father was a baker, a simple, hard-working man. He was long gone. The letter continued, each word a hammer blow. He sold the bakery, his entire life's work. He gave every penny to a lawyer to invest in your company, and he made me promise I would never tell you. He saw your ambition, but he also saw you were losing me. He wasn't investing in your business, Arthur. He was investing in you. He was making one last desperate bet that if you got the success you craved faster, he would finally stop. He would finally come home to his daughter. The letter fell from my hands. My entire life story, the myth of the self-made man, was fiction. My success wasn't a mountain I had climbed. It was a gift. a gift built on the very love I was so busy trading away. The ladder I had spent my entire life climbing was leaning against the wrong wall, and the wall itself had been built for me. I don't know how long I sat there in the dark, hollowed out. Eventually, I picked up the phone. I dialed my son. He answered, his voice guarded. "Dad?" I tried to speak, but my voice was broken glass, just a raw, ragged sound. "Dad? Are you okay? What's wrong?" For the first time in 30 years, I heard a flicker of real concern. "I'm sorry," I finally choked out. "Michael, I'm so sorry for everything." There was a long silence on the line, and then his voice softer than I've ever heard it. "I'll be there in the morning, Dad. Just hang on." I hung up the phone. I thought my legacy was steel and glass, an empire. But a real legacy is made of moments, bedtime stories, held hands, laughter. I traded a treasure of infinite value for a pile of shiny, worthless stones. And if you're watching this, ask yourself a question. Are you building a life, or are you just building a cage? Don't wait until you're 73 and sitting in an empty house to find out the difference. Please, don't make my mistake.